So in a span of the most of my content creation career, I've been using a Canon 700D since 2017. It's actually a pretty good camera. I mean, it does photography pretty well on me, or even, but most of the part as I'm using it on videography, which has like a dedicated mic input now, and of course, the kit lens is great. I even bought a Yongno 50 millimeter prime lens, which is, I think, I honestly kind of regret buying because I forgot that I'm using an APS-C sensor. Now, here I am, upgraded to a new camera gear, and it's finally about time. And I am showing you what's the update on my video gear that I have right now. So if you're new to the channel, yes, I'm a DJ, music producer, and content creator, but for most of the part, I do game streams on my Twitch channel. I don't have a final schedule yet, but you can follow me on Twitter and also on the Twitch channel, so you'll stay updated. I play FPS and music video games and even some racing games. Well, this video is actually really unplanned because I'm just here to show you the stuff that I updated for the past 2 to 3 years of starting doing live stream. And I started with a Logitech C270 and probably like a HyperX headphones, which is actually Giant Date still has my headphones, and he haven't returned it. He's actually using it, so that's no problem for me. And I upgraded it to a BM800 microphone. Someone brought me a present for a Behringer Cinix Q502 USB, but I had problems with it, mostly electrical problems, and I sold it to someone who does have a D-Hummer, which is I don't have that time, and sadly I didn't realize that that's what I would need. Another year prior, somebody gifted me like a really old mixer with USB interface and then a pair of speakers for music production originally, but I'm also using it for media production and even live streaming right now. To the prior of having a Canon 700D, which has a mini HDMI output, but one problem there is there's no clean HDMI feed with the Canon 700D. I resorted on getting Magic Lantern on it. Not that I'm not experienced with Magic Lantern for the years of having using Canon as my daily driver brand for doing videography and such, but sometimes it could be a little bit finicky, and at the same time you don't really get a lot of features with the 700D. For one, I only get the feed like a 4:3 ratio feed or even 3:2, which is kind of annoying since you don't have a lot of space for you to like go around. And as much as I like the I think it was 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens, it has some problems with that. Number one is the lighting is kind of sucks, and even at f4.0 or f4.5, and it's kind of dark for me, and even like the background that I have is too dark. Even on the brightest one, I'm using a Xiaomi E-Light, by the way. I understand that my cheap colored lights on my ceiling doesn't do justice even right now, but just having just a little glow on my background is kind of annoying at some point. Thinking of buying like a 30 millimeter f1.8 or even like 2.0 third party lens, but I didn't think of that. I don't have a budget for it, and I wanted to replace the camera altogether, and that's what I did. So for the most part of the Holy Week or Semana Santa, I've been invited to I've been asked for help for a media production for a 3-day religious activity, and I encountered one of their equipment is a Sony A5100, and it's originally used for casual photography and even film, but since in the light of pandemic, it's only being used for live streaming for for the religious organization and such, which is actually pretty great. And when we use it for 3 days, and even no, actually 4 days, since that includes Easter Sunday before I got home. I'm really convinced that yeah, I think I should really go upgrade to Sony mirrorless and such in general. So I'm originally planning to get a A60 I actually plan to buy getting an A6000, but I don't have a budget for it. And even if I sold my camera, I'm still gonna be short for the value of the A6000, which is like, I don't know. Well, last time I saw it was like 24,000 for a body and a kit lens for it, which is fine for me, but I don't really have a budget, so I resorted to buying another to A5100 just for the purpose of having it as a live stream camera and even future content creation. I'm also happy with the deal that I got with the Sony A5100. So the story of this is like somebody is selling this because they need funds for their new business. It's a really good purchase, and I only got it for like 13,500. People are selling this in marketplace for like, I don't know, 19,000 to 20,000. If you're gonna buy on that price range, just save a little more and get yourself an A6000. It's a little bigger. It's not as light as the A5100, and probably you're gonna use it for live stream anyway, just to get a better quality with a capture card, or even any USB utility tool that I haven't explored with in own Sony cameras. I think it's a better deal for that. But for 19,000 for a really unused and even rarely, or rather rarely used buying 19,000 for a rarely used A5100 is still ludicrous, even though it was worth bang for the buck because it's half the price of the gray market, like around like 55,000, or like 2/3 of the price of the SRP in the gray market, which is around like 33 to 35,000, or even in the white market, which is ludicrous. They're still selling it for 55,000. Like, I get it, it's an APS-C sensor that comes with the higher end A6000 and a lighter body, and even though it doesn't have a mic input at all, it's still ludicrous for a 2014 camera. I don't really recommend spending a 2014 camera, the A5100, for like 19,000 above. If you can get it at least for 15 or 16,000, you'll be fine. And I actually bought mine. The reason why I bought it for like 13,000 price, because it has one issue. The flash isn't working anymore. As I Google search on how repairable is the flash, it's actually repairable. I just need the replacement. I'm not gonna really bother because I'm only gonna use this for filmography most of the time, or even if I'm gonna use it for the photography. The low light of this compared to my Canon 700D is much better. And I have a ring light, a lot of ring light. I even have another spare ring light here. The first ring light that I got, along with a dummy battery and a mini USB adapter for the 700 ring alone. And since I got a better ring light here, I use the video light that comes with the 700D. It's a pretty good upgrade for me, and the lighting is really fine and all that stuff. Enough the story why I sold my Canon 700D. I mean, don't get me wrong. For the people, I know some people who works on Canon, especially the PR one. If so, you're watching this, hello. Don't worry, I love Canon cameras, but for this case, for the case that I'm using right now, it's more beneficial for me to get on a Sony first. But if you want me to review a camera that might be competing with the one I have right now, let me know. DM me. that is so. That is so. Anyway, so I got the Sony A5100 for 13,500 pesos on a private seller. It comes with like a charger, which is we only charge this when it turns off, unfortunately. So you cannot use it as a dummy battery. And for the course of filming this video, a little bit blog and an update for what is happening on the like the techie side of your favorite DJ music producer and Lupia loving fellow. I got this with a tripod, a really old tripod perhaps, and even actually the lens is actually a little bit dirty. It's like my 50mm, but I can clean that, so no problem for me. And then the output of the camera is actually still pretty clean, so I'll do my best to get that clean. But if that goes wrong, then I'll just buy a new kit lens for this, no problem, since this is also interchangeable. That allows me to like probably get like a 15mm f1.8 for a better lighting with a shallow depth of field. But I'm gonna think of that. But actually, I'm really satisfied with the kit lens that I have. I can even like zoom this in to like 20 millimeter right here, and this looks way better than my the similar 20 millimeter adjustment that I did with the Canon 700D. You get a shallow depth of field even on f4.0. The ISO auto is pretty good, so I don't have to tweak on 800 or to 1600. It also tweaks. Who's messaging? The ISO is a little bit more finer to tune now, so I'm not stuck with 800 and 1600 on the Canon 700D, and I get more shallow depth field, get more final details, and most of it I take advantage of the whole 1080p 30 screen real estate that my capture card supported. By the way, I'm using the cheap 500 peso Lazada capture card with this, and it's running great. I mean, I might plan to get like a 1080p 60 version of it for the near future, so I can like take advantage of the 1080p 60 as well. But for the meantime, since I'm using a like a 1/40 shutter speed, and I'm okay with having 30 FPS as my face cam for one, I'm probably gonna need like I'm gonna use my GoPro instead for like a 60 FPS for like for a controller camera or even my mouse and keyboard probably in the future. The point is, this camera is pretty great. I can see why a lot of YouTubers, both locally and even international, that they are recommending the Sony A5100, and you should buy it too if you can get a good deal out of this. So I don't really recommend you to buy an A5100, a capture card, an adapter, and such right away, and even the dummy battery, because I'm also a strong advocate for that content is king. So it's still gonna rely on the content that you want to deliver to your people, whatever what your plan is. Like, for example, you want to do like tech reviews, like what I started to do, why I'm doing content creation in the first place. Aside from making music for you guys, you don't need an expensive gear. It just makes the production more professional, and even some people can even make a professional like quality with a like a Logitech C920, 920, or even the Red Dragon 1080p camera. That's actually pretty great. I might try to like contact people from Red Dragon or even Pantech to review a webcam, so and I can make a review or even how help you how to even get you a better lighting at a very low cost. I mean, I'm not using a professional level lighting here. Like, I'm using, like I said, I'm using a ring light and an old video light. I just need it to be manual tweak, so I can. It's not always full bright and such, but there's a way that you can use a desk lamp where you cannot control the brightness. I hope this is the light for you, or at least a little light up for the path that if you're going to be on content creation and you're worried that you don't have a gear and such, you don't have a talent and such, all of them can be obtained as long as you have determination, you have the passion, and you have the value, or you have you put value to your content rather. Anyway, so this is NicDroid, and I'll see you guys again on the next video. And as always, stay savage.